From the Capitol, we went down Pennsylvania Avenue for a look at the White House. That's where the president lives. The White House represents the executive branch of the government. Before he got through, I could see why Uncle Jim said that the president has the biggest and toughest job in the world.
Yes, Bill, the White House is both the home and office of the president. The president is chosen by the people through the Electoral College. Some of the president's duties are set by the Constitution. Others are established by laws, treaties, precedent, and public opinion. The president's main job is to take care that the laws shall be faithfully executed. He must decide whether to sign or to veto every congressional bill, and when a bill becomes law, he is responsible for putting that law into effect. To help him, the president has 10 permanent executive departments: State, Treasury, War, Justice, Post Office, Navy, Interior, Agriculture, Commerce, and Labor. The secretary of each department is a member of the president's cabinet, which is his chief advisory body. From time to time, as emergencies arise, special independent agencies are created to assist the president. Two examples are the Veterans Administration and the Federal Security Agency. I probably don't need to tell you that the president is also commander-in-chief of the armed forces. This is a heavy responsibility, for Congress gives him the power of making many military decisions in conducting a war. Finally, it's the president's duty to recommend needed. He usually does this in an annual message to a joint session of Congress.
Well, the next stop in our tour was the Supreme Court building. This is where they decide whether our laws follow the meaning of the Constitution. Uncle Jim told me to notice the inscription over the entrance, "Equal justice under law." He said that this pretty well sums up the purposes of the Supreme Court. Then he went on to explain what it meant.
The Supreme Court is the judicial branch of the federal government. Here, the law itself is on trial. It is judged according to whether it violates our constitutional rights. The court is composed of 9 justices who hold office for life. Members are nominated by the president, but their appointments must be confirmed by the Senate. Now you should have a good idea of how the Constitution sets up the 3 main branches of our government. The legislature, which is Congress, the executive branch, which is the president, and the judiciary, which is the Supreme Court. The legislature is charged with making policies. That is, it passes the laws. The executive is responsible for carrying out policies. And the judiciary is charged with reviewing and judging policies. But while each of these branches of government has its own clearly defined duties, they all work together as a team through a system of checks and balances. Here are some examples of what I mean. The president appoints justices to the Supreme Court. Executive balances judicial. Congress determines the size of the Supreme Court. Legislative balances judicial. The president has veto power over the bills sent to him by Congress. Executive checks legislative. The president can propose laws he thinks need to be passed. Executive balances legislative. The Supreme Court has power to declare unconstitutional any law passed by Congress. Judicial checks legislative. Congress must approve many of the appointments made by the president. Legislative checks executive. Congress appropriates money for the executive departments. Legislative balances executive.